evening, folks. I'm sorry this came a little bit later than usual, but welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. So, kind of what we're going to be talking about this evening is kind of a little bit of what I got into last night. Kind of plays into everything we have gone over to this point in regards to trolling tactics. But before I get into that, I just wanted to rant a little bit. So you all know how I said yesterday, how with the media, with trolls, you can't internalize it or take it personally. Well, sometimes I have a real difficult time of taking my own very sound advice. So, last evening, right before I was preparing to go to bed, I saw something on Twitter from one of my actually autistic folks who posted basically a couple of captions from a movie coming out this year called Man-Made Monsters 2020. The exact quote was in reference to a controller, I believe it was, that wasn't working, or it was the concept, I don't really care, it's not really the point. The point is, it stated, believe this is exactly it, but I've slept since then, so you'll have to forgive me. The literal terminology, and excuse the voice in the background. My cat's in my roommate's room, and he's not willing to listen. Anyways, besides the point, the exact terminology in this upcoming film was, it's like a person with acute autism. Exceptionally clever, but useless in the real world. Yeah, so that was a sucker punch directly to the gut. Another example of how the media and how the Hollywood sees people like me. Oh, they're exceptionally clever, they're cute. They're real cute, don't get me wrong, and sometimes they have really clever ideas. But when it comes to the real world, they're actually completely useless and contribute nothing. Sorry, I know I've been putting up with it for years, but every once in a while, something comes out like that just hits me at the wrong time. So, I've calmed down a little, since reading that expert, but that's why I always say, I know exactly what JD is going through, because it's what we, as autistics, as ADHD, as neurodiverse squad, go through every single day. Every single day. This is what the world thinks of us. This is how the world views us, by and large, on a large scale. This is how we're depicted. That's why we have so many people who are upset with Sia right now. So, I tried to, today, just calm down, put it in perspective, and just make myself realize that it's not new. This is the same thing they've been doing to us for years, and just like with JD's case, it's just another way to try that the media and Hollywood tries to tell us to stay our lane. Be a good little disabled person. You just stay right here, and we'll just have to do everything for you. Bullcrap that they've been perpetuating for more years than I care to count. It's just more of the same, and whereas, yes, we absolutely should be speaking up about this harmful narrative, I can't take it personally. So, if anyone was on Twitter last night, that's what was going on. So, media pieces like that, like the hit pieces that have been done on JD, they do embolden trolls, but they do this kind of hit and run tactics, is what I'm seeing more and more often. What I mean by hit and run is they will get on a thread in which they're not even mentioned, place an inflammatory comment, and then they will sit and wait for the reaction. Sometimes they'll just do it as a single tweet. More often than not, they will do it by piggybacking off of hit pieces, like the one that hit the Hollywood Reporter and is now in Entertainment Tonight. Hit and run means they leave the inflammatory comment, sit and wait. Let us have all the comments, all the evidence, screenshot it, block all of us, and keep us from being able to make comments on the post after the evidence has already been put in their feed, and then show it on their Twitter feed and use it to affirm their own ignorant stance and to affirm that we are the bullies. Oh, we attacked them. So, hit and run tactics are very common in both communities, unfortunately. A little bit like I experienced last night. I haven't ventured over to that side of the internet today because I didn't want to re-wake up that rage and that anger, that upset. I want to give it a couple of days before I delve into it. It's probably going to be its own video by itself at some point. But hit and run tactics, it's basically used as propaganda to inflame the base. What I mean is, it's not even necessarily used as a tactic to silence us, as it is used as a tactic to fire up their supporters to attack us even more. It's a propaganda tool is what it is. If they can provoke that response, screenshot it, plaster it, give it the coloring that they prefer, and then get it out there to their supporters, then that will fire them up to either use similar tactics or go at it even worse. So, how do we respond to these hit and run tactics that we've been seeing everywhere? Well, it depends. Now, if they use something that's particularly inflammatory, you can always block and report. Now, with the reporting, they will use that as a way of saying they're trying to censor us. Look at them, they're trying to silence us. Don't take the bait on that. Don't take the bait on that. It's the same abusive tactics that, well, abusers of all sorts use. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And also, when you see those comments pop up, when they're retweeting the Hollywood Reporter or Entertainment Tonight or whatever rag they've decided to believe in is gospel today, try to figure out, is this person just buying things hook, line, and sinker? Or are they trying to use it as propaganda? And if they're trying to use it as propaganda, as much as we feel the need to throw facts at them, just know what it is they're doing and shut them down. Shut them down. It's the same thing if someone's insulting you to your face and calling out your mother. Alright folks, that's all I've got for this evening. If you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time tonight, and I hope you have a good one.